welcome to this Badminton Europe update. My name is Rasmus Bæk and I'm the communication manager here at Badminton Europe. In this series we talk to the managers and the senior staff at Badminton Europe, also to give you guys a bit of insight as what is actually happening in our organization. This is something that we will be doing on a regular basis from now on, and today we will be talking about the development work we do at Badminton Europe, because today I have right next to me Tanya Theo, manager at the Badminton Europe Development. Thank you for coming. Tanya, as I also said to some of the other guys, and I was also asked myself, 2020, a different year. How has it been different for you guys?
For us in the development department, it's really very different because that in March I was sent home due to COVID and I was not allowed to work. And the challenge also happened that because we also have a new staff, Justine Kamal from France, starting in May. So it was a strange start, but then in July I was allowed to come back to work, and then things start to get on in speed, and we actually work really well. And from July onwards, there are multiple activities from the para badminton area, gender equity area, and also the member support area.
Yeah, it's actually those three topics that we'll be touching upon on today, Tanya. And let's start with the ones that you actually mentioned first here, the para ones. You're deeply involved not only in the development part of para badminton, but also in the high performance. Looking back at 2020 and para badminton, how has it been?
We are actually very fortunate that in September we were able to organize the para badminton event physically together with the Portuguese Badminton Federation, and that was actually something that we thought we could not due to the current climate. And indeed it was a challenge, but we pulled it through. Thanks also to the Federation for believing in it. So at the end we were like, yes, even though it's Corona year, but we managed to deliver it physically. That's for the para event. And in terms of high performance, we had some talks with the top nations last year to actually have a few different high performance camps in France, Germany and England. But due to Corona and all these restrictions, we were not able to deliver that. But we also invited some para players to train at the Center of Excellence, and we did manage to bring Muriel on board. So he joined us and he trained 2 weeks at the COE.
Let's start on him. He's not the first player who has entered the Center of Excellence, but it's not that many who has entered on this kind of agreement. What does it tell you that the para player is actually also looking towards COE to prepare for maybe for the Paralympics, which will hopefully take place in 2021?
Yeah, the main idea of inviting the standing upper 5 para players is to show integration, and they have the level to play, and they are strong enough to compete and spar with our COE players. So that's for the standing upper players. For players from the other sports classes, we are also in discussion to host some training camps specifically for wheelchair players and also standing lower players.
Is there a need for these camps to take place? Where do you get these ideas from to actually put this on track?
The idea is it came out because para badminton is not that big yet for now. The pool of players, elite players, are not that huge. So sometimes they train just with a few of them. So the idea is to expose them to play and spar with the players in Europe with the same level. So that's why we felt that the training camp would be beneficial for all the elite players.
Yeah, and talking elite players, and it's no secret that it's not all classes actually who has the chance to go to the Paralympics. Are we talking about those classes going for Paralympics, or are we talking actually everyone here?
We are focusing on only the sports classes that are going to the Paralympics.
How come?
Yeah. Because as of now, we know that resources are limited, and so human resources, financial resources. So for now, we would prefer to focus on those categories, the sports classes, and at one point when sports class expand, then we might even look into it. But high performance is like that. When it's the top level, we only focus on the higher levels.
But we're taking important steps here. It seems to me like that's a crucial thing.
Yes, it's not easy to say no, but that's how it is with elite sports. Yeah.
I'm sure that a lot of the guys watching this interview has been working from home. That's been a thing. Luckily, you and I were fortunate to go back to work in our office here in Denmark. In I think it was mid July, early August. My office is right next to yours, and especially in early mid September. And there was kind of not a tension, but nervous faces at your desk and also at our colleague Justine because of this para event. Was it on? Was it off?
Yeah.
What could you do? How could you do? When could you travel? Who could not? How should you test? Should you not test?
Yeah.
Try to enlighten us a bit, Tanya, on how was it to get this project, which is important for Badminton Europe, not just because we are an organization who also wants to work with parasport, but also because it's actually including a lot of our members. Try to enlighten us a bit. How was it for you to build up this one and to execute?
Yeah, the Para Badminton event actually is the 6th edition this year. It was one of my first projects starting back in 2015. Actually, to be honest, I was also nervous before taking the flight due to all the restriction. If I expose my family and what about myself to be quarantined and self-isolation. But the important thing that we stick together and believe in it. Justine, me and Patricia from the Federation, we say, okay, we do all the precautions, we read and we make our research and we believe that it could be delivered. That's why we move forward.
But Tanya, what does it tell you that it was actually possible to execute this one?
It tells us that if we want it and we make enough homework and believe in it, actually, even though Corona sounds very dangerous, it is actually not as dangerous as the whole idea of the virus. It is feasible.
But of course there are some things that should be solved before.
Yes.
There are some considerations to be done. Do you expect to see more activities? Also, if we still have a pandemic in 2021 to take place, or will it be the same limit as here? How will the first part of 2021 look as far as you see it?
It is very difficult for me to comment because every country has different regulations and restrictions. So with the Para event, we normally open the bidding process to all our member associations. So we hope that they will apply and would like to host. But then it comes back to the countries. Some countries, they only allow 10 people in the same room, some even lesser. So it's very difficult to answer this question, but we just have to take it as it comes and stay positive.
One of the projects which has been launched despite of the pandemic, that's the Gender Equity Ambassador Project, which includes a number of women. For now, women, hopefully also later, also some male participants here. What is the main goal for this project to take place and to launch that one?
The main goal for the Gender Equity Ambassador Project is to expose the importance of gender equity in badminton because we see a very obvious lack of female participation. Actually, this project, when we started the project discussion in January, the idea was that the ambassadors will take part in Badminton Europe activities, be in a tournament or during meetings or during summer camps, so that there will be the role model and ambassador to say it is important to have gender equity in badminton. But due to the pandemic, a lot of activities have been cancelled. So we changed the project a little bit, and we also work with Badminton World Federation to come up with different ideas and to, let's say, how we change the project description to deal with the current pandemic. So instead of doing international activities, we went back to the ambassadors and said that, okay, because we could not fly, we suggest that the activities are made nationally. So this actually happened as late as October. So the ambassadors were very supportive and they totally understand our strategy, and they are also very much on board, and they actually delivered a few already.
Yeah, exactly, Tanya, because I've been sitting in on a few of the webinars, the Q&A sessions, and then I know that things will also be executed between this interview is recorded and also actually published. What does that tell you, that we actually see these ambassadors already executing? It is not like they're sitting on their hands.
The ambassadors, they are extremely motivated. We have a total of 9 ladies. Like you say, at one point it can be more because this is a 2-year project. They are very hands-on to look for experts because we focus a lot of webinars, we focus a lot of national activities. So Justine, she's doing the day-to-day tasks for this project, and it seems like they have a lot of communication, and we will also plan a virtual meeting. So far we will have 2, and next year we also plan to have different activities. That first quarter, this is what the ambassadors, we encourage them to do, or we also would also like their ideas, how it works in their country, so that we can use the best practices with all the other MAs.
If somebody's watching this one is actually thinking, I want to be involved in this project, is that possible, or how does that work?
It is possible, but like I said, the ambassador project is a 2-year term. So the 9 ladies who are our ambassadors will be activating all the activities and also participating at one point our activities when they are able to travel internationally. If he or she would like to take part and join in, we are always open.
So they can drop you a mail.
Yes. Yeah.
Tanya, parasport, one thing, gender equity, one thing. I know for a fact that the last 3 months, 4 months, memorandum of understanding has also been a thing for you.
Yeah.
We already spoke to some of our colleagues, among others, Brian Erbach, our General Secretary, regarding the MOUs. For you, who has been working with this hands-on, how's it been?
It has been a very steep learning curve because it's the first time we are doing this at Badminton Europe, and the idea is to get closer to our MAs. We had a lot of discussion also internally with your department, communication, events, high performance, participation. A lot of coordination because in the MOU we split it to 5 areas, which is participation, administration, events, high performance, and one more communication, your area. And in those areas we suggested different programs and methods that the MA can improve. And then we have the key performance indexes that we hope that they would achieve in terms if it's a 2-year MOU, 3-year or 4 years MOU. And how did we get to the KPI is where we went back to the member survey results and they told us that this is where we are and we see where they could go. So there were a lot of coordination internally with our colleagues, with you guys, and also now that we have spoken to a few MAs and they are all very positive with this cooperation. So we hope that in 2021 we will have more MAs signing this and also delivering and executing the plans and programs that we listed.
It's a fact that some of the deals are actually already signed as we speak. Hopefully more will be signed between the recording of this interview and the publication. But 2020 in terms of member support has also been different. We had unfortunately to cancel the members forum, which is part of quite a big task in terms of member support. But how is the member support picture actually been looking like in 2020?
In 2020, due to the restrictions of traveling, our main aim is to get the MOU running. That's the first thing. And then we have a few different activities in the pipeline. One of them is also representative visits that our colleague Jakob, he managed to fly to Finland before the restrictions were stricter. A few other activities that we have in the pipeline are the Coaches Network and the volunteer program, which we can see it launching next year. Those are the things that are not necessarily needed to fly to meet face-to-face. And then we actually planned one of basis program is called Membership Exchange Program. That one we need to have a face-to-face meeting, and that was postponed because of the pandemic. So.
Maybe tell me a few words on the coach network and the volunteer project.
Yeah, actually both projects are very similar. It's just one is targeted on the coaches and the others is for the volunteers. The main idea is to have a database where, for instance, if let's say a country would like to organize a tournament, but that country does not have the expertise, they might come to us and say, we need transport person or we need someone who does protocol. Would you be able to suggest this person as a volunteer? That's for the volunteer program. It's the same concept for coaches. Some countries, they would like to have some coaches for their summer school or for their different activities or short-term trainings thing. They might not have the connection of coaches from around Europe. So there's where we come in and we say, okay, this is what you would like, a female, this age and this level of coaching. We suggest these coaches for you. So
it's actually like building a database of people who would like to be more involved in badminton, not necessarily just domestic, but also internationally. Interesting project, and that's something that we will see fly in 2021. A lot of things will happen in 2021. Tanya, what is that big thing blinking for you?
Oh, do I need to choose one?
You can choose a few things there. We have time for that. That's no issue.
I would say the very first one would be the Memorandum of Understanding. That, of course, we have it signed. And if we could actually have a physical congress, because this is the activity that once in a year all our members will come and meet. It's also crucial for the MOU as well, that we meet our MAs and explain to them what are the programs that they can apply and what we suggest, and also feedback from them. So that is actually top in my list, that I really hope that the Congress will take part physically. But fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Tanya,
thank you very much for stopping by, and good job done in 2020. And I know that this will just continue in 2021. Thank you guys for watching. Remember that you can also read everything you want to know about our development department. You can do that on our website, badmintoneurope.com. And of course, you can also follow us on all our social media platforms. Stay safe until we meet again.